Hello and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name's Chuck Woodin, and normally I'm joined by my co-host, Donna Dunyan. She is here, but now she's a guest.
I'm the guest tonight.
You're the guest. Donna, it's great to have you back. We're actually going to be talking, it's going to be an update on the Veteran Strong Community Center. And for those that don't know, that watch the show, Donna is the executive director for the Veteran Strong Community Center out of Bristol. City Hall, you guys are back.
Yes, we're back in City Hall.
Yeah, there was down for how long?
Well, we weren't down. Well, City Hall was being renovated,
yeah.
so we were temporarily relocated to the Senior Center.
Center.
But we're back.
Yeah, it's, well, I'll let you tell everybody where you're located. So I just happen to have a little bit of information where I know where it is now, in the new City Hall.
Yeah.
Donna, it's great to have you back as, representing the Veteran Strong Community Center.
Thank you.
We try to, during the course of our interactions during the shows, we like to throw, when we can, throw information for the center out. But there's a lot of times we can't because we've got so much great material that we're talking with the guests.
We do. We always seem to run out of time.
And we always talk about throwing stuff out.
And we never do.
This show right here, we're going to dedicate solely to the center. So there's going to be a lot of great information. And without further ado, Donna, what, for those that might not know about the center, can you give us a little history lesson about it? What's your mission?
So Veteran Strong Community Center is an information and resource center based in Bristol. We are at Bristol City Hall. We're very fortunate to be part of a pseudo city office, but we provide information and resources to veterans in the greater Bristol area. We have specific partnerships with, obviously, Bristol, but also Burlington, Harwington, Plymouth, Terryville, Thomaston, and Wolcott. And what that means is I will physically go into those communities and do outreach with veterans, see what their needs are. But really anyone from the greater Bristol area, from Connecticut, I get phone calls all over from Connecticut, can call and ask about resources and services. In our mission, we did tweak our mission a little bit, I think, since the last time we focused on the center. We've updated it, and it's now Voices of Honor, honoring all that have served. It's really still our same core mission, which is just to get information and resources out to the veterans, the service members, and their dependent family members, no matter what the situation is.
I know in the past we've talked about geographically. I mean, the communities that are adjacent to Bristol.
Right.
For those that are watching the show, I mean, you could be in Newington or just out on the outskirts.
Right.
But actually, like you said, I mean, people have called you from throughout the state.
What I'll do when they call from a different part of the state, of course, I'll listen to them and figure out what the best resource is. If it's something through the VA, if it's something through the state, or is it something that they can find locally? Do they need a food pantry? Do they need to talk to community services in their town? Whatever the situation is, we'll give them that information.
And you have a directory. I mean, you obviously have the resources to even in their communities.
Yes, yeah. I've been doing this for 12 years, so I have an extensive list of resources.
12 years.
12 years. That's when we started with, when I started with the Army Reserve Program.
Yeah.
And then we created the nonprofit in 2016.
It seems like almost yesterday, and they're 12 years ago.
I know we were talking earlier about my daughter, who's now 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was just itty bitty. when we had our grand opening, and now she's 16 and looking at colleges.
Time
I
flies.
said that out loud too. Ooh.
What are some of the specifics you can help the veteran community with?
Really, it's a broad range. It's as varied as life circumstances. I mean, just today alone, I helped someone who needed a copy of his DD 214. Yesterday, I was helping veterans with getting VA paperwork filed. Over the last couple of months, we've seen an uptick in older veterans coming in for resources, whether it's a need for additional food resources, or they're low income and they need help maybe with the electric bill, because we all have been hit with skyrocketing electric bills over the winter, fuel oil, and it really varies. Again, we have some very easy situations that I can address, and then we go to more complex things where we actually do a little more case management with some of the veterans and make sure that they're following up. If I gave them a referral to Department of Labor, are they following up with getting their resumes updated or doing any interview skills, finding jobs, to dealing with end-of-life situations. So it really goes from A to Z, and I can say in 12 years, I don't think I've been surprised at anything that has come across my desk. Yeah. I've been stumped a few times, and I may have had to take a brief pause and done some research on what services would be best for that person, but I haven't been stumped completely.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you came through and the results were positive.
Yeah. Well, I won't say results are always positive. They may not get the answer they like or want to hear, but they're going to get the answer. In the last show, we talked a little bit about National Guard members, and sometimes they're not always eligible for the same benefits as a veteran who is in the regular branches. So that's really when it comes into play, that I work with a lot of the social services and other community partners that are available.
Now, with this is a question that, since actually 1991, Desert Storm, where the National Guard has played a tremendous role in deployments.
Right. Yeah.
You would think that they would be receiving everything that the other branches would be.
So they can, if they have Title X orders or have gone on deployments, they are eligible for a lot of the VA type of benefits. They're eligible for VA health care when they come back. They're eligible, if they're injured while they're deployed, they're eligible to file for disability compensation. So yeah, at that point, they're not just, and I don't say just, they're not solely a National Guards member. They become part of that Army or Air Force, wherever, if they're Air Guard or Army Guard.
Now, how was the center funded?
So we are partially funded by the towns that we partner with, but that's a very small part. It's maybe about 30% of our budget. So the majority of our funding does come from grants, fundraisers, and private donations. So and we go through this every year, and it seems like we're doing this in May right now, so it's the end of our fiscal year, and it's always like a little bit tighter around the budget purse strings and everything, but we do what we can, and we have a separate fund created so that we can continue to help financially. Even, if it came down to it and I needed to forego a paycheck now and then, we have a separate fund that we can continue to help with electric and food, grocery store gift cards or gas cards, things of that nature.
It's an emergency fund that
We have an emergency fund for veterans, yes.
Now, when you do the fundraisers, are all the, I'm trying to word this properly, are all the communities outside the surrounding areas, are they responding like the Bristol area? I mean, are they?
We move it around. We move the fundraisers
yeah.
around. So we'll do all different kinds of fundraisers. We'll sell items, we'll do raffles, we'll do dine-in nights. And when we do those, we go into the communities that we're partnered with and we'll use a restaurant there.
Yeah.
So we'll move it around so the different communities can participate and help support. So it's not always falling on one community to do everything. But
I was
Bristol
trying to
is the
word
basic.
that without singling out a community that may not be. I was
Yeah.
trying to. How can people support? I mean, do you get a lot of support? How do people support the center? How can somebody support the center?
So the best thing to do is to look at our website, which is www.vetstronginc.org. And there's all kinds of opportunities, whether they're looking at financially supporting or supporting a program we want to do or volunteering. We do a certain key couple of events every year that we do need a lot of community involvement with. We do, at Christmas time, we do a Secret Santa. And we work with all of the local nursing homes and assisted living centers in the towns that we're involved in. We get a list from them of the veterans or surviving spouses that live there, and they send us back a little wish list of things that they'd like. And sometimes it's things as simple as, for the ladies, a very popular thing is pink nail polish, or warm fuzzy slippers with grippies on the bottom, or a new blanket for their bed, or a calendar for the year. And what we do is we have various groups of individuals that'll come forward and offer to adopt a couple of veterans or surviving spouses and purchase those gifts, and then we go and deliver them. It's all done anonymously, so they don't know the name of the veteran, the individual veteran that they're assisting. But it's so great because then we get to play Santa and we deliver all these packages so that they're at the homes for their Christmas parties. And then later in the winter, in February, we jump right from Secret Santa to Valentine's for Veterans. And we work with different schools and after-school programs, and we have the kids create Valentines that then we distribute back to those nursing homes, as well as dropping them off to the local posts or chapters or whatever the service organization is, and just having a box of them at the center that a veteran can take a Valentine around. So we're always looking for people to help us support those events as well as any of our fundraisers.
That was actually another question I was going to ask.
Which one?
As far as volunteer opportunities for people to stop by to help.
Yeah, and it's hard because a lot of what I do, it gets very private and confidential. Some veterans, I've had to build relationships over years to get them to truly open up to me and take my advice of, connecting with a vet center or connecting with the VA or taking the next step to make their lives better. So it's hard to tell someone that, you can just come in and volunteer in the center. Though this past year we did have an intern that worked out pretty well, and she was able to help us with some of the behind the scenes stuff, with like planning the fundraisers and working on the Secret Santa and the Valentines for veterans. So we do have stuff kind of behind the scenes that people can help with. It happens. I can't talk right now. It ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
It ebbs and flows. depending on the time of year, depending on what activities we have. But we're always looking for board members too.
Yeah.
I love having our board. We have a really good cross section of veteran and non-veteran on our board. We have men, we have women, we have some older folks, we have some younger folks, and it's from all different walks of life. We have a teacher, we have a retired sergeant major, we have an attorney, we have someone who deals with facilities for the Connecticut colleges. So we really have a good cross section of people. And that helps me, because if I'm getting stumped on a particular situation for a veteran, I already have possibly a subject matter expert on my board.
Yeah.
You know, I can call the attorney on our board and say, hey, I have this situation for a veteran. What do you recommend? Or we have someone who deals a lot with senior living facilities. I can call her and say, hey, do you know, is there a good contact for like the state that we can refer this family to?
Yeah.
So that helps having a good cross section on our board.
That's great. I mean, I remember when you first started, actually the board, you got the board together when it switched over from to
the nonprofit.
Yeah, to the nonprofit. What are some of the new things that are going on with the center? I know you've always got something going on.
Oh, it's never a dull moment at the center. So right now we're planning for September. Believe it or not, I know we're in May, but we're planning for September. So we have our whiskey event, which is our big fundraiser. It's a whiskey tasting event that we hold at the DoubleTree. That is on September 7th. And then we have on September 20th, which is a Friday, we participate with the State of Connecticut Department of Veterans Affairs Stand Down. So that's a really big thing, and that's an opportunity for volunteers as well. Because for anyone unfamiliar with Stand Down, think of a resource fair for veterans on steroids, and that's Stand Down. It runs all day that Friday. It's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and the state hosts it at 5 different locations. The Bristol location is going to be at St. Gregory's CCD Center on Stafford Avenue, where we were last year. They host it in Bridgeport at the University of Bridgeport, in Danbury at the Danbury War Memorial, in Norwich at Easter Seals Veterans Rally Point, which we've had them on before, and at the Rocky Hill, Connecticut Department of Veterans Affairs campuses. So that's really an opportunity for veterans to come out and not only see what Veteran Strong is about, but all of the resources in Connecticut. I know last year at Bristol, we probably had about 70 different vendors.
Wow.
And we had, I want to say close to 125, 130 veterans come through the door, which may not seem like a lot because pre-COVID, we did everything at Rocky Hill, but that's still that many more veterans that are getting services, getting connected with the VA, getting connected with the different service organizations, getting screened for medical illnesses and disease, vision, dental. We try to bring a whole collaboration of services together for them.
Well, there used to be a time where it was just up at Rocky Hill.
Yeah. COVID changed everything.
Yeah. I was going to ask you what, I'm trying to remember, what was it, right around 2020 that it went out to the...
Yeah. Well, the year that shut everybody down for COVID, they did it virtually. And how we tried to help out with that is I made computers available and we did it up on our large TV screen that people could come in and watch seminars on certain topics.
Yep.
Then the following year, they actually started going out and having the different site locations. And then this will be the third year that Bristol has been involved, specifically with Veteran Strong Community Center. We were asked to host a site, so 3 years ago we took up the mantle and we host a site now for it.
Well, you got Bristol and Bridgeport.
Very
Waterbury.
big.
Waterbury's another big. But there was a time when Bristol was, per capita, the largest veterans population in the state.
We're still third.
Third?
We're still third.
That's still there.
Yep.
Bridgeport was always the biggest, if I remember.
Yeah, Bridgeport and Hartford, and then you have Bristol.
Yeah.
We're like the 14th largest city, but we've got the third or fourth largest veteran population.
It's a blue collar community.
Yeah, we still do.
Um,
And some of the other things we do, we'll be out and about for festivals and fairs. This summer we do the Bristol Farmers Market. We'll do Burlington Tavern Day again. We do try and get out into all the communities and rotate around which fairs and festivals we're able to do, because we do have, limited resources and definitely limited staff.
Yeah. I know last year I was out at Tavern Day in Burlington, and I saw the stand, the booth out there.
Yep.
I think Maggie was working.
Yes, Maggie. Maggie's our youngest board member. I'll give her a shout out. Maggie Wernicki. She's leaving. She's going to be resigning because she's going to college.
Yeah.
So we'll have some board space available. Some openings. But some of my passions that I've gotten through the center. Some of the specific items I'm very passionate about. One, you know how I feel about the accredited service officers.
Yes.
So that was a big thing, and I still talk about it to this day because I still hear grumblings of veterans paying for someone to help them with their disability claims. And I want veterans and surviving spouses to know you do not have to pay for that.
Not a dime.
Not one dime. There are accredited service officers through the state of Connecticut in each of the congressional districts and through some of the veteran service organizations. They sit in Newington that can help you with your disability claims. The only time any money should be involved is if you're doing an appeal, and possibly if you're working with an attorney because you're doing some probate or estate work. There could possibly be an exchange of money, but those are the only exceptions to paying for the services. And I actually came across this week. I thought you were gonna sneeze.
No, it's allergies.
Yep. I actually came across someone who paid to get a DD-214.
Paid?
Paid. Nope, you don't need to be paying for that either. So those two things I'm very passionate about. You shouldn't pay for services that are available to you.
Now, when Donna said the veteran service organizations, American Legion, VFW, DAV, I think those are the three main ones.
Those are the three main ones that have service officers.
That are in Newington. They're down in West Haven.
Yeah.
As far as offices, but you can stop into any local post.
Yeah, and a post service officer. My understanding is a post service officer will still direct you to the accredited service officer.
Yeah.
And the last thing, I know we're running out of time. May is Military Appreciation Month. So I appreciate all the veterans out there.
Yeah.
I appreciate everything that you've done. But more importantly, or just as importantly, it's Mental Health Awareness Month.
We need more shows.
We need more shows. I didn't think I'd talk all that much.
Yeah. No.
But we need to just be more open to talking about it.
Well, I got to tell you, real fast, because we do have to wrap it up. Everything that you've been doing for the last 12 years, there's no words that can describe the impact that you've had. To say that the veteran community and the crew here, the veteran community, appreciates what you do. There's no words that could describe that. You've done a tremendous job. Anybody that needs any help, Veteran Strong Community Center is a phone call away, and Donna's there. I know she's passionate. Anything that you need, like I said, if she doesn't have the answer, she's going to find it for you. So you may not always like the answer,
No.
but that's the answer that's out there. She'll find it. So with that being said, Donna,
That's it.
it was great to have you on as a guest this time, again. So, I mean, till the next time we co-host, and,
Yep.
which will be coming up soon. With that being said, I want to thank the viewers for watching. Thanks for being here, Donna. See you next time on the Veterans Corner. Good night.
Nick Augustino right here at the East Side Restaurant. We always have the complete full dinner menu. Knockwurst, bratwurst, sauerbraten, potato pancakes, red cabbage, rice pudding, cream pies, all the desserts that Germany had to offer. I always do something different. Yes, I do. I brought seafood to the beer garden at the East Side Restaurant. East Side Restaurant, your German destination restaurant in Connecticut. Tiki-taka, hoy, hoy, hoy!
Follow us on Instagram at nutmeg.tv.